interwebs. For this session here, I'm gonna go and kind of give you a little bit of quick peek into what I look at to make sure my settings are correct. Why do I say that? Is I recently had a blackout and I lost my settings, right? So I had to go ahead and do the whole YPAO and all that kind of thing. I physically heard I didn't have my front presence because I'm running Atmos, so I kind of knew something was wrong. But from that point on, I started being able to use my front dialog screen of my AV, which I'm gonna go dive right into right now so you can kind of see if you set something up, where to look for it, right? I think it's very useful. And again, for troubleshooting and also just to show you what you can see on the front panel of your AV, all right? So stay tuned. I'm going to give you another camera shot doing that, all right? All right, so we're over here in front of the AV receiver, and I was talking about this screen right here. There are definitely things you can do on this on the AV receiver, which I wouldn't do. I would do it on a remote control. But if you press this menu button down here, it'll give you the menu list, right? If you wanted to go into like the settings and things like that, right? Boom, settings. You can go into a lot of those things that you actually see in your actual setup button on your remote. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this screen right here, which is on my input, my HDMI 1 input. I have my Apple TV, and it's receiving Atmos signal, okay? Which is always good to know, right? So if I wanted to click that, I could also see that's the auto decoder. I love this screen because it tells me that my front channel is working. I'm getting signal into my front channel, my center, my surround, my front presence because I have Atmos, and my subwoofer. I like to keep it on this screen most of the time. When I mentioned before, this is a quick way to troubleshoot if everything you configured is actually still configured, because I had that blackout and I lost my front presence and some other things. This is where I knew automatically outside of just listening to it, okay? So you can see that's the output channel, and then you can tell I'm going into HDMI 1 and it's going out, so that's a clear system through. I'm using the surround sound decoder, you know, and I'm receiving Atmos signal. I think that's pretty valuable. I really do. And this specific screen here, I think is really valuable. So between that and this, if I don't have my remote control, I keep it here because I don't see anywhere else on the setup screen or where you can actually see, you know, all the signals coming in and they're actually working. So hopefully this helps. It's one of those kind of things that I don't know if it's actually documented, but I love this. I love the fact you can do it here, right here, and quickly troubleshoot and see what's going on. Of course, if I did setup on the remote control and I did test tones and all that kind of thing, if you watch my other video, you actually see that. But again, wanted to show you what it is, and then, you know, there are certain buttons. These are actually soft buttons, right? Heard that beep, right? They're actually soft buttons, so they actually really work. So if anything, hopefully this helps. It's just kind of, you know, I asked one of my friends who have this, and they're like, what are you talking about? You can see everything going in the front screen, you know, that kind of thing, right? So I thought that was really cool, okay? All right, so, you know, you kind of saw what my preferences on that front panel screen. It helps my brain, it helps my peace of mind of making sure whatever I configured is working. Hopefully that helps. And, you know, maybe you can share some things out there. And if you want to see some other things that I see, or if I see something, I'll share with you. And if you want to see something, you go and ask me, and I'll go and try and video it right for you, all right? All right, so this is again Ray from Sugar Ray's Projects.